I'm Kelly from iCraftvinyl.com, and today I just wanted to talk to you about some HTV basics. So I kind of just wanted to share an easy tutorial. If this is your first HTV project or you're a beginner, this is kind of a great place to start. So first we'll kind of go over the materials I need. First is my design. I just wrote out some text to roll with it. So then my vinyl, my HTVs are Tiffany Blue Matte. Then you need your cutting mat, which mine has seen better days. Then my t-shirt, my Teflon sheet for when I'm pressing with my iron, which is heating up right now. You also need some scissors, something to weed out your excess HTV, and a measuring tape if you kind of want to help, line things up. And also your cutter, can't forget about that. So let's kind of go ahead and get started. As you see, I have my text here. I have attached everything together, including the little period, so everything will cut as one piece. And I'm going to go ahead and click Make It. I'm going to turn my machine on, open that up. So I'm going to put my HTV on my mat here. Make sure it's all stuck down nice and good. All right, and then on your computer, make sure you mirror your HTV, and you're gonna wanna put your HTV shiny side down. That's always, anytime you're doing HTV, shiny side down and mirror on, either your Cricut or your Silhouette, whatever software you have. But don't forget those things. Put a little post-it note on your computer, on your Cricut, something just to help you remember, because you can waste a lot of vinyl forgetting those steps. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and hit continue now that I've mirrored my design. It's just connecting to my Cricut really quick, okay? And so for matte, I cut on just the iron-on setting that's on the Cricut Explorer Air 2. And so then I'm going to load my mat in, make sure everything's nice and stuck down. I'm gonna press the flashing arrow. I'm gonna pull this back a little bit because the mat will come out the back. So you wanna make sure you have enough room behind your machine so it doesn't get stopped by a wall or anything. And now that it's loaded in, you're gonna press the little Cricut C that's flashing, and it's gonna go ahead and cut. And it's a pretty simple design, it shouldn't take too long. All right, so our design just finished cutting out, just took probably 2 or 3 minutes. And you're gonna go ahead and hit the flashing arrow, so it will unload your mat. All right, so I'm just gonna find where it was cut. Sometimes when it's hard to see the cut lines, you can use a headlight or something like that to help you see them a little bit better. You can put a light underneath it, like a light pad. This isn't too hard to see though. So I'm just gonna cut this out really quick. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my X-Acto knife. That's what I choose to weed with, but there's so many other things that you can use. You can use tweezers, you can use a pen, you can use anything really. There's lots of different options. Whatever is the most comfortable for you. So I just peeled back a little corner. And I'm gonna go ahead and slowly start peeling away the excess mat to reveal my words. And our mat is pretty easy to weed. You really don't have to go super slow, but with some other materials, you might want to take your time, just kind of as you're learning them and seeing, how well they come apart from the carrier sheet. But the mat comes apart pretty easily. All right, then after you get off the main piece, you're gonna go back in and see if there's any little spots that need to be weeded out. Like there's a little spot in the O here. So I'm just gonna go in, peel that out. All right. is that. So we're gonna make a center line on this shirt first, just to help us get our design on nice and straight. So I'm just gonna line up the seams as best as I can here. And I'm just gonna take my iron and just run it down the middle here, giving me a nice little line down the center. All right, see that right there? Then I'm gonna take my design. I'm going to fold it in half, not the sticky way, this is the unsticky side. And I'm gonna match up the two farthest points and make a little pinch here. So I have my center mark. Then I'm gonna line that up with my line. And for just regular collared shirts like this, you wanna put it down about 4 inches. So I'm gonna go down a little bit further here. All right. Take this piece of hair out of there. All right, it's down about 4 inches. Lined up. So now I'm just going to take my iron, which is set to the cotton setting, which is the highest setting on your iron. Make sure there's no water in your iron, no steam or anything like that. And then you're just going to press your design. So since we have a carrier sheet over this heat transfer vinyl, you don't need to worry about putting a piece of parchment paper or a Teflon sheet on top of it. This carrier sheet will protect it. So I just went across it once just to get everything tacked down, and now I'm going to really go and put pressure on all the points here. So use your body weight to kind of leverage some pressure here. Make sure you get all the outside pieces. Those tend to be the ones that are the trickiest. I want to press about 20 to 30 seconds, make sure it really gets adhered. And we'll do a final press at the end too once we remove the carrier sheet. So I'm just making sure I got little dots, the bottoms, the tops, going over every part. All right, since I'm using an iron, it's a cold peel, so we're going to need to let this cool a little bit before we remove the carrier sheet, just to prevent it pulling up any of the HTV. All right, that's probably cooled down enough. Go ahead and peel a corner back first to see. Yep. So go ahead and just slowly start to remove the carrier sheet. If you notice any part is for some reason sticking to the carrier sheet, just lay it back down, take your iron, and just go over it again. All right, the mat's pretty forgiving. It's pretty easy to work with. Now I'm going to take a Teflon sheet and just put it over my design. So this came with my heat press, but if you don't have a Teflon sheet, you can use a piece of parchment paper, you can use a thin towel. You just want something here to keep your design protected because it will stick to your iron if there is nothing between the heat and the HTV. So I'm just doing one more good little press over all the letters. So how you know if HTV is adhered is if you look really closely, you can see the fibers of the shirt underneath the HTV. So you see that? Once it zooms and once it focuses here, yep. So you can kind of see the fibers coming through the shirt. So that's how you know it's really on there. So that's all you got to do once you press, just kind of go over, make sure all of it's adhered, all of the fibers are coming through, and then you know your shirt is going to last you a while. As you can see, the process really isn't too hard. This is our final project. So don't be intimidated to get started. If you have a Cricut or a Silhouette or anything sitting in a box, go ahead and take it out. It's so much fun to use. There's so many different things that you can make with heat transfer vinyl. So go ahead and get started. And as you go to purchase your heat transfer vinyl, remember iCraftvinyl.com, the best prices, fast shipping, and great customer service.